Hey everyone, it's Hannah Saber from HR Images. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the FilterPixel software, so stay tuned. I recently got FilterPixel, the program. So basically what FilterPixel is, it is like, I used to use Photomechanic to help culling through my images. So with Photomechanic, I used to be able to categorize them in color categories or star rate them into what I like to what I don't like, what's rejected to what's accepted. Whereas the FilterPixel, it runs differently to the Photomechanic. So FilterPixel is basically exactly like Photomechanic, but they've got an AI technology in that software. So when you select your images, you can actually go auto select and it will select the images for you. So basically it will select images based on eye focus, focus quality, and then you can it will categorize. So you got accepted, images with major issues, images with minor issues, and images without no issues. So instead of you kind of separating them and going through them your own way, then this software does that for you, so making your culling process a lot quicker and faster. So if we open up the FilterPixel, so once the software is open, you've got here the dashboard area. So then you can actually go new project and then you drag the folder of the image. So if you're shooting weddings, then you will bring in your wedding folders through there, or portraits. So I'll give you a bit of an example. Like I will put in just randomly an image because I've already got some folders already set there. So if I just drag this folder, for example, so here you can actually select then portraits or weddings and events engagements. So this part is vital because then this will help the software select the images based on weddings events. So then obviously you got some detail shots, so then they will go through that and check the focus quality opposed to the face and the eye. Whereas if it's just portraits, obviously portraits more about the face, you will then select that, giving the software an indication that it's just portrait based. So here what I've got, so if we go click on the portrait, for example, if you then click on auto select, it will then categorize here on the top. So you've got here accepted photos, 2 major issues, 2 minor issues, and no issues. You can color rate them, you can star rate them, and pick your image, like what you like. So here then, if you did want it, for example, you can then just click on the major issues. So all images with major issues will turn up. So here obviously they can't see no image, so then they put as a major issue. This image, for example, it will come up now. Everything is in focus, but the reason why it said major issue is because of the lack of eye focus, because being portrait based, they're going to base it more on the eye. So here they will say it can't see the eye, so it'll put as a rejected file. But if you decide to keep it, the shortcut for accepted, you just click on P, it will then put it in the accepted file. So here then if you go to images with minor issues, so minor issues here where it's slightly out of focus, slightly underexposed, they will sort of pick that. So they then obviously, again, here on the right hand side you got eye quality, focus quality, so then you can actually then determine. So if it might say, you know, it's overexposed or underexposed, too much highlights, or the face is not completely in focus, and then again you can then categorize it whether you want to accept it or leave it. So here again, here are photos without any issues, so this is what the software thinks it looks perfect. You can see the eye, but because it's half closed, I don't want it, so I'll leave it in the rejected pile. Anything that I sort of kind of scan through, it will come up here on the left hand corner, and then okay, yep, I like that shot. It's got the eye that's nicely focused. It's a little underexposed, but I can adjust it in post. So if you go here, then if we do weddings, now with the weddings, same thing, auto select, it will then categorize it. So portraits, it didn't accept it anything, but it categorized them in those sections for me. Whereas here, it's actually selected images that it feels is very acceptable. So everything's focused because it's basing on a wedding. Not a lot of face is going to be shown. It's going to be a lot of detail shots. So here, like for example, the hand, its focus is pretty good. You know, it's accepted that, which is something I will do as well. Here, you know, it will come up with all the faces there. So the priest, the minister at the background, you know, his face is blurred, but that was intentional. But his face is very focused, and her face. So I've kept that. So I've kind of like how it is. Same thing again, you know, you go through images with major issues. So it will select, for example, this image because of the strong highlights on his side. It does that, and because you can't see the eye. And then, so by the time you sort of kind of go through it, then you can sort of make sure you are happy. So this software is not, I wouldn't rely on it 100% to say, yep, whatever's accept, I'll transfer it, because there are images in there that you might really like that the software might think is not acceptable. So it comes down to preference. Now, this AI is there to help making culling a lot quicker and faster for photographers, separating them for you to making, because with me, for example, when I use Photo Mechanic, I will separate them in the yes file, maybe file, and rejected file. Once I separate them in those three categories, I like to go over it, because sometimes in the yes file, I might look at that image and say, you know what, I don't like that. Put it in the rejected pile. Or vice versa. Sometimes in a rejected pile, you know what, I actually really like that. If I can edit it this way, it will come out really nice. You put it in the acceptable file. Where this way, you're skipping that process and you're just digging straight into it, confirming the images that have been selected. So you're basically cutting that out and letting the software do it for you, but you're just finalizing it before you then process. So now, for example, you know, these images here, it's saying it's these images have no issues, so it is in the you can go into acceptable file because obviously it's detail shots, it's in focus, so it's saying no issues for them. So these 513 shots will more likely go into the acceptable file by the time you go through it. It's more with the minor issues and the major issues you want to sort of kind of go through it again. Say if you are happy with everything, you have the accepted file, you go, all you go is just select all. Then you go export photos. You have two options. If you don't want to edit today, you can select local folder and it will transfer all those images into a folder on your desktop or laptop, wherever it is, or the hard drive. And it will only save those raw files that you've selected into that folder, not bringing in the rejected pile. If you didn't want it to do that and you want to edit straight away, you then go into Lightroom. It will then transfer everything into Lightroom and have the process ready for you to start editing. So it is very quick, very simple with this software in terms of helping with culling, getting, you know, your images. It gives you a percentage here for focus quality, eye quality. You got the rejected, accepted, the minor issues, major issues, and no issues. You even have the metadata here. So if you want to know the time you've taken it, the camera you use if you can't remember, and the settings you use. It has focus mode, the actual focal length, what white balance you use, you know, whether you use auto, shutter, or aperture priority, or manual. And then here you've also, when you go in filters, you've got here the partial focus, the perfect focus, autofocus. So then you can actually select through these as well if you don't want to go through the top pile, to make it a lot easier and quicker. There's a link below on the Filter Pixel. Download the trial version, test it out for yourself, leave the comments what you think of this program. It is a program that I will recommend for a lot of wedding and event photographers to help cull through your images quicker and giving you more time to do other stuff than sitting there focusing, going through all these images on your own. There is also my affiliate link for the Filter Pixel software there. There is a discount that you will get if you use it through my affiliate link, so do check that out.